Hello friends, welcome to B.Sc.Agriculture. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your subscription and likes are always motivating us. If you have any doubt, please comment in the section, or else you can able to ask your doubts in the Instagram channel, which is in the description link. So let's move to the video. In this video, we are going to see about fundamentals of entomology. I am going to cover the reproductive system, as well as I am going to also cover the types of reproductive system in insect body. So while seeing the reproductive system in insects, so which is male and female as well as in humans in most of them, so they are mostly used to have separate female reproductive system. So the sexual dimorphism is common where the male differ from the female morphologically as like as in the human being. So for example, you can able to see the sexual dimorphism in the bees, mosquitoes as well as in cockroaches. So there are other two types which are said to be known as gynandromorphic, which is known as the sexual mosaic, as well as the hermaphrodite. So the gynandromorphic, which is used to have an abnormal individual, so where they used to have a secondary sexual characteristics of both male and female. Example in mutant Drosophila, or which is also known as butterfly, as well as hermaphrodite, so which is said to be known as the male and female conates are present in the same organ. Example cotton cushion scale, which is said to be known as Isera purchasei. So while seeing the insect reproductive system, so let's take it as the secondary axis system, which is known as the gonophore, as well as which is found in the ectodermal region, and which are said to be known as the gonads, as well as the primary exit system, which is said to be found in the mesodermal region of the insect. So in those, while seeing these regions are said to be known as the testes, and inside the testes they are said to be known as the follicle, and the curved nature which is found in the insect is said to be known as the vas deferens, and they used to have a seminal vesicle as well as the accessory glands, which is also present in the insect, as well as the ejaculatory duct. So these are the things we are found in the male reproductive system, which is said to be the primary as well as the secondary one. And while seeing the female reproductive system, where you can able to see the pair of ovaries, and they used to contain the ovarioles, as well as they also have the calyx, lateral oviduct, common oviduct, and the accessory glands, spermatical glands, and these are said to be known as the first yellow color is the primary one, as well as the blue color is the secondary one, and also used to consist of Burka cospicticles, which is said to be known as the vagina. So while seeing a pot of ovariole, they used to contain the terminal filaments, as well as they also composed of germanium and vitellarium, as well as the pedicel. So the germanium is said to be composed of 2N, as well as the vitellarium is composed of single N. So while seeing the types of ovaries, they are said to be known as Panoistic as well as Meroistic. In Meroistic there are two types, which is polytropic as well as the teletropic, which where the other name of teletropic is acrotrophic. So the spermatogenesis, which is done in male insect, is where the germanium, where the 2N is said to be used to have a zonal growth, and each and everything used to separate as different pods, and N, and the mitosis process takes place after the maturation, and the zone of transformation where they are converted to the sperm cells in the insect body. It's how the process takes place. So while seeing the types of ovaries, the Panoistic, so you can able to see the presence of two follicle cells, and the primary oocyte which is present inside the cell, and the germinal vesicle which is said to be the nucleus inside the cell, as well as the peritoneal sheet which is used to separate two different ovaries, which is said to be found in the cockroaches, grasshopper and dragonfly, and the other one is the Meroistic polytrophic, so where you can able to see a single follicle cell with the primary oocyte, as well as they are mostly consist of nerve cells, as well as the germinal vesicle which is said to be known as the nucleus present in the cell, and also contain perinatal sheet which is said to be found in the cell, so which is mainly found in the moths, bees as well as flies. So after that we are going to see about the types of ovaries, where is the meritrophic, which is also known as telotrophic, where they use it to composed of nacelles, trochopoid, primary oocytes, parenthenial sheet, germinal vesicle, nucleus, which is said to be nucleus, as well as the follicle, which is mostly found in the bugs. So I have already told you about the spermatogenesis. It was the same thing where you can able to see a germanium zone of growth, zone of maturation, as well as zone of transformation. After that, as like in spermatogenesis, we can able to see the oogenesis process, where the oogonium, the primary cell, and the 2N, which is said to be converted by the metasis process to produce more germ cells and use it to form primary oocytes, and the meiosis process 1 takes place, and where the secondary oocytes are said to be formed, and the metasis 2 process used to form 4 different cells, where the oocytes are said to be differentiated by oogenesis, and the ovum is said to be formed. And the third process, which is said to be known as the sperm transfer, which is intergenital, it is said to be the common method of transfer by which the spermatozoa are transferred to the genital tract, which is said to be found in the Hermaptera group of insects, and hemocolon, where the sperm transferred into the body cavity, example in the bed bugs, and the external, where the male deposits the spermatozoa, which is covered with a protein cover on the substrate, and the female picks it by walking over it, example which is found in the silverfish. So after that, we are going to see about the types of reproduction in insect, which are where the types are oviparity, viviparity, parthenogenesis, paidogenesis, polyembryony, hermaphroditism, as well as gynedomorphism. So the oviparity, where the majority of female insects are oviparous, where they used to have egg-laying nature. So the embryonic system occurred by the oviposition by utilizing the yolks. So for example, oviparity is said to be found in headlovers, moths, beetle, as well as flies. So the eggs are laid shortly after fertilization, so there is no retention, and the no nutrients are transferred to embryo after the fertilization process occurs. And the other one is the viviparity, where the initiation of egg development takes place within the mother, and the life cycle is said to be shortened with the retention, and even developing young one within the mother is also said to be done. So in viviparity, eggs are said to be retained, and the embryo is said to be fed by the mother, and immature may complete development before deposition is said to be occur. So for example, Starapians, where the Tistley fly, where they use it to give it as the larva one. And while seeing the types of viviparity, they use it to give ovoviviparity, adenotrophic viviparity, hemocell viviparity, as well as pseudoplacenta viviparity. In ovoviviparity, the fertilized egg containing yolk are incubated inside the reproductive tracts of the female, and the hatching of egg occur just prior or soon of the oviposition. So the deposition of young ones immediately after the hatching of eggs within the female, which is said to be found commonly in the silverfish, and also said to be found in thrips and cockroaches, as well as few beetles and flesh-shaped flies. And the oviparity, where the eggs retained until the embryogenesis is complete. So the embryo fed by the reserves, and the female used to deposit the nymph or larvae is said to be known as ovoviviparity. And adenotrophic viviparity, where the after hatching the larva used to grow inside the vagina, as well as deposited male or matured larva, which used to soon pupate and fed by the accessory glands in the mother plant, example which is found in the Glossina as well as the Parian Diptera groups. And the hemocell viviparity, where the corneolus eggs, where you can able to see the tropic membrane is said to be, the larvae is said to be surrounded by the tropical membrane, which is said to be dispensed in the hemocyle of the blood. So the egg ones are used to release it through the blood channel of the insect. So example, Steraptrians, as well as the padogenetic larvae of Cystidomites. And after that, the pseudoplacental viviparity, where they used to occur a yolk deficient egg develops in the genital tracts of the female. The mother used to provide a special placenta-like tissue through which the nutrients are transferred to the embryo, and the larvae are laid upon hatching, which is said to be found in aphids and some earwigs, as well as the socoids and the polytenide bugs in the insects. So, and the third process, which is the parthenogenesis, where the reproduction takes place without the fertilization process occurs. So there are different types of parthenogenesis which is said to be based on occurrence as well as the sex produced in the insects. So while seeing the based on sex produced in the occurrence, Acantoconi where the unfertilized eggs so are produced male. Example bees, the drone bees are said to be produced, and Teletoki where the unfertilized eggs produce the females. Example aphids, and Ampitoki or Jutrotoki where the unfertilized eggs produce both male as well as the female, which is said to be known as cyprinid wasp. And the fifth one is the panogenesis. So the reproduction by young ones which having the functional ovaries, they use it to form the new ones, which are said to be known as cytomites. It's also said to be known as used to form a panogenesis. And the polyembryony where you can able to see two or more embryos are said to be produced from egg cells, which is one of the major character in parasitic insects. Example plastic aster as well as the hymenoptera insects. So I have given the lecture notes in description. If you have any doubt, please comment in the section, or else you can able to join us in the Instagram, which is in the description. So if you like the video, like it and share it with your friends, and subscribe to B.Sc.Agriculture and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. So thanks for watching the video. I will catch you up in next videos.